What is good, people? It's me, Tunji from Caesar Graphics. I'm going to be your host today. I want to specially welcome you to my live design training. Today, I'm going to be working on a church poster project for social media. So sit back, relax, and keep watching. The title of this event is Living in Divine Favor. And signs to show that you're living in divine favor is, when everything is working for you. Part of it is when there's nothing bothering you, like you have everything you want is always around you. Your design, all right, your project must portray this feel. There are several ways, all right, you can achieve making your project portray the living in divine favor look. There's the part of you using illustration to achieve this. And also, there are times when you don't even need to use illustration, but the color used on the project will depict this, message of what the title of the project is talking about. So today, I'm going to go with the using of the color to portray what the title of the project is talking about. So the type of background I'm going to use here is something that depicts treasure. Living in divine favor means you are someone who is someone who's people are looking up to. Do you understand? So it means you have something expensive, something treasury, something that shows power in you. And so the type of background I'm going to use today to depict that is something that have gold feel like this. All right. So I'm going to be using this background to create that living in divine favor feel. So, like I always say to you guys, your background or your illustration, yeah, is what shape the look of your project. That's the layout of your project. So I'm using this background today. So there's one thing I noticed we creatives always, one of the mistakes we always make whenever we are using background on our project. So many of us are used to just using the background the way we download it from the internet. No, when you have a background that you're using on your project, try see what you know is not really useful on the background and get rid of that thing, and then make use of what you know that is useful on the background. So right now, I decided to make this to leave this space here so my viewers can easily see my content when I place it here. One of the reasons why I decided not to use illustration on this project is because when I received the content from the client, all right, I was told that this speaker here should be more obvious. Like people should be able to see him. So me putting him in the frame is going to hide the picture of this person. And this is another reason why I decided not to use any illustration on the project, because making this picture bold and they still have illustration next to it is going to make the project look too heavy. So whenever you're working on design projects, also, I mentioned something last week during our design review training that the two people that you need to have in mind whenever you're working on design project is number one, the client, and then number two is the viewers. So the client is requesting that he wants this speaker's picture to be bold so people can see it. So I'm trying to make sure I make that happen here, so it won't make me, end up going back to the project again after the client rejected the project. So I'm trying to avoid not to make the client reject the project. All right. So yeah, I'm going to make position. So I've converted the image to a smart object. And for those of you that don't know why I did that, is I know it's possible I may end up adjusting the size of the picture. So in order for me not to lose the quality of the picture, that's the reason why I decided to convert it to a smart object. All right. I hope that makes sense. All right. So I'm going to position this somewhere here. Then, so the next thing we need to do now is to work on the color on the face of our subject. Why? Because the picture of your character is also part of the project. Yeah, I know so many of you already know that. But when I say it's part of the project, I mean, there's the part of you playing with the color on the character. So it blends with the color on the background. So here, I have this blue on the outfit of the subject, which is usually calling more attention. So we need to find a way to adjust the saturation of the suits and also the color on the face. So let's start with the face. So I'm going to zoom in now. All right. And I'm going to add hue saturation. Then I'm going to click on the clip icon because, I only want this to affect the my subject here. So I'm just going to reduce the saturation like that. All right. And then I'll go back here again, then select color balance and click on the clip icon here. Then under my midtone here, I'm just going to add a blue to this, just soft blue like that. All right, this is fine. Let's see the before and after. This is the before and this is the after. So I prefer it this way. Then the other thing I'm going to do again is to add curve. All right, so the reason why I always add curve to my character's picture is I always like to boost the shadow on the character. So I'm going to do the S curve here now. All right. And I'm going to move this up like that. I'm going to activate hue saturation again and then click on the clip icon here. And then I'm going to use this to just dial down. All right. Reduce the saturation. Let's see if we change the hue a bit. I think I prefer it this way. So I'm going to hit Control I on my keyboard and then select the brush tool. All right. And under my brush settings here, I'm going to make sure that I'm on the soft round brush. So I'll switch to white here because I need to bring back the hue on the outfit. So then I'm going to just gently apply that here like that. So when you're doing this, guys, be careful not to make it touch the face. Okay. So I'm just going to bring this back. Yeah, this is beautiful. So let's see the before and after now. So this is the before and this is the after. So I prefer it this way. All right. Then the other thing I'm going to do here is if you look at this side of my subject here, you notice we have this light coming from this side of my subject. So we need to find a way to make the color on our background reflect on this side of the face of our subject. So I'm going to create a new layer and I'm going to hold on Alt and just pick a color from here. All right. And then I'm going to gently apply the brush here like so. All right. Then I'll hold on Alt and place my mouse in between the layer where I apply the brush and the last hue that I applied to the project. And I'm going to click as soon as I see the black arrow with the white box to clip that inside the image. So I'm going to double click on this to activate my layer style. Because I want to blend with this. I only want this to affect the the highlight and not the shadow. So I'm going to move from here and move this here and hold on Alt, click, and then split this like that and move this out here like that. Because it's always good to see, touch of the highlight on the face of the of our subject. So I'm going to hold on Alt and click and then move this here like that and move this here just like that. So I'm going to select the OK button and then I'll activate levels because the color is looking too heavy on the face. So I'm going to move this to right about here like that. Now you see we're seeing touch of the background color on our subject. So this is okay like that. All right. So let's see the before and after. Excellent. All right. So the other thing I'm going to do again here is we still need to call that light from here and apply it to our subject. So I'm going to create a new layer and still going to hold on Alt and pick the color from here. Then I'll change this to screen. Then I'm going to gently apply, the color to this side of my character. So let's try one more thing again. I'm thinking of making these effects overlap on my subject here. So I'm going to add a layer mask to the layer of the subject and increase my brush size. And let's see if I switch to black, switch my foreground here to black here and delete this. Let's see if this is going to make the project, it's going to make the project look more interesting. So I'm just going to take this out from here like that. Then I'm going to add curve to this because I really want more focus on this side of the project. So I'm going to select the curve adjustment here, and I'm going to do this same S curve again like that. And I'm going to hit Control I to reverse the mask. Then I'm going to increase my brush size. Now make sure your foreground here is set to white like mine. And I'm just going to apply this here like that. Do the same thing here like that. Looking more like it. So for this side here, I need to cover this side of the project. So I'm going to hold on Alt and sample this color from here. And I'm going to create a new layer again and make this visible. And then I'm just going to gently apply the brush. Then the other thing I think I can do again here is still going to create a new layer. And I'm going to hold on Alt and sample a color from here and then gently apply, the brush, all right, to just this side of the project so as to separate the subject from the background. That's another good way you make your project pop, So I'm just going to apply that here like that. And let's see what we have now. We're making progress, all right? So I'm going to go back again to, let's see if excuse me, I'm going to go to the background that I just dragged in now. And I'll move this above this. All right. Let's see if I move this here and change this to screen like that. And I'm going to add a layer mask to this. I'm going to use Control I on the layer mask of the layer. And I'll select the brush tool, increase my brush size, and then gently bring that background back to the project like that. All right. All right. So just gently bring it back like that. So then I'm going to move this here. All right. And this should come here. Okay. We can now gently move this behind our subject here like that. So I'll bring this back like that. All right. So just bring that back like that. Right. Like that. Now this is looking. All right. This is good. I am going to make a copy of this background again. The background is very, very useful. In fact, one of the things I do whenever I'm working on design project is I try to see how I can use my background to, in fact, I always use every detail on my background to create, to spice up my project. All right. So I'm teaching you guys one of my tricks here now. So draw a shape here like that and hit Control J to cut that out. And I'm going to delete this because I don't need it anymore. So I'm going to just move this here like that. All right. We can even make it a bit smaller. So then I'm going to go here, change my blend mode here to screen first. All right. Then I'm going to go to filter, blur, and select motion blur here. So this should come here like that. And just going to apply more blur to this. And I'm going to activate the free transform, right click and select skew here. So I'm going to hold down Shift and Alt, and I'm going to just place this here like that, and right click on this and hit free transform and make this real big. So this is going to come right here, just like that. All right, just going to come like that. Okay, so why I'm doing this is because this is where I'm going to put the text. All right, and I really want focus to be on that side also. Okay, then that's why I decided to make this this effect here that you're looking at. All right, so I'm going to convert this to a smart object, but before I do that, I need to first time visible the project. So I'll hit Control Shift Alt and E, and then I'll right click. All right, and convert to a smart object because we're taking this to Camera Raw to do the color grading, and then we'll now start adding our other information to the project. So I'll go to filter, then select Camera Raw filter here. All right, so here we are now in Camera Raw, and I'm going to start with the basic. I'm going to make the project a bit cool. I'm just going to apply a touch of blue here like that. And then for the exposure, crazy, yeah, it should be, let's just give the project this shiny look. All right, for the contrast, all right, I'm going to just crank that up like that and highlight. Yeah, let's reduce the highlight because making everything too bright is not going to help the project. Okay, then for the shadow, yeah, I'm going to just increase the shadow And for the whites, reduce the whites. Black, reduce the black, like that, because I really want more details on the shadow. I really want the shadow to be much stronger, so I'm going to reduce that like that. And for the texture, all right, I'm going to reduce the texture because I really want the project to look smooth. So I don't want too much noise on the project. So I'm just going to reduce the texture just like that. All right. For the vibrance, all right, I'm going to increase the vibrance like so to as to make the color on the midtone pop. Okay, so for the curve here, like I said, I like to boost my shadow. So I'm just going to move this down here and just, increase this like that. All right. I love, separating my shadow and my midtone. Okay, so here under my detail here, I'm just going to add contrast to the pixels. So I'm just going to increase the sharpen just like that. And I'm going to close this. Then under the color mixer, all right, I am going to go straight under the blue. All right, the blue. So I'm going to change the blue color a bit to something like this. And under the saturation, I'll reduce the saturation of the blue. All right. We're going to do it this way. And this is looking excellent there. So under the orange here, I'm just going to reduce orange a bit because I noticed that we're having too much orange on the face of our subject. So I'm just going to push that like that. And I'm going to select the OK button. So let's check the before and after. So this is the after, the before, and this is the after. So I prefer the after. So I'm going to zoom in. There's another thing I like to do on the face of my subject here. I'm going to add curve to this, and I'm going to increase my curve like that, and hit Control I and zoom in. So that the brush tool, I'm going to reduce my brush size. Then go to my brush tip here and select soft round brush and make sure transfer is checked. I'll reduce the size of my brush now to switch this to white. All right, because I really want my curve back on the project. All right, so I'm just going to gently apply the curve back to the eye like that. All right, so I'm just going to do the same thing here. I come here and do the same move again. I'll paste that somewhere here like that, and I'll make that really big. All right, because that's the title. And let's see the best top font for this. So I'll use let's use Zero Style. All right, let's use Zero Style for this, and then move this down. Let me centralize this. Okay, and I'm going to push this up. All right, and I'm going to close the space between the tracking. All right, so since the text is bold, all right, closing the space between the letters, it's not going to affect the visibility of the title. So I'm going to activate the free transform now and make this real big like that. Make it real big. Okay, so I'm going to move this here. All right, and I'll draw a circle. I'm a fan of doing this. Okay, so this is going to be somewhere here. All right, so that's where I'm planning to add the in text. So I'm just going to increase this like that and just reduce the size a bit. So I have to separate it because the layout is not looking the way I want it. So I'll make a copy of this and then I'll paste this here. So this is going to come somewhere around here, and this is going to follow like that. I'll make this smaller. All right. Now, no matter how small I make this, it will still be visible because the shape is different from the other shape on the project. I'll make a copy of this. So this is going to be in. All right, and I really want to create contrast with the living text, so I'm going to use a slim type here. All right, so let's use something script like. I think I'll prefer this, so I'll make this big like that, and this is going to overlap on this like that. Let's start applying the colors. Now make sure your brush tip is set to soft round brush. Okay. And then I'm just going to click once. And then I'll hold on Alt and clip this inside the title. And I'm going to activate the free transform and make this real big. And this is going to come. I'm going to position this here like that and make it real big. Then I'll make it pop. And this is going to be inside the flavor text. All right. And I'm going to just position this somewhere around here, just like that. I'll change the color of this to something a bit more darker because I really want the title to be visible. All right. I really want it to be visible. All right. That's good. So I'll position this here and I'll apply the same color to this. And for the ellipse, I'll make the same move again. The width can now be this. Okay. Thinking of putting this here. In order to make it visible is to repeat this shape here. All right. So if I take this out for now, wow, I think I like this. I'll make a copy of this again and move this here. And this thing now come here. Move this here. All right. Then we can even make a copy of this again. Let's see if I make this visible now, and we can see our text, or we can see our social media handle. All right. So yeah. So I'm going to stop here. Yeah. So this is the final project. I'm glad you made it to the end of this live training. And if you learn anything from this video, kindly post it in the comment section. And if you have not subscribed, guys, remember to hit the subscribe button. And also don't forget to check the post notification bell because I'm going to be posting more tutorials on my channel. So in order for you not to miss it, it's better you check the post notification so YouTube notify you when I post any or upload any of my tutorial on my channel. Thank you all once again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.